Good Monday makers. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Today we're going to check out some awesome builds from the community, and I'm joined by or with Dave.
Hey everybody, good morning.
We got a lot of great builds. It's going to be really cool. There's some holiday builds, some duck blinds, and just all kinds of cool stuff. So let's just jump right in and check them out. First up, actually Dave talked to this person, and he's got a Marquee letter business. As you can see here, basically they make marquee signs with that just like marquee style, the bulbs inside the like 3D looking letters.
Made out of metal, I believe,
Oh, really?
as we were talking over the phone. Yeah, we had a couple rush orders, but I believe they're made out of metal.
Nice. Yeah, and you can see they do signs for all kinds of different events. I guess that's somebody's probably 50th birthday, probably a birthday party, just all kinds of cool stuff. But if you look closely in there, you can see a little glimpse of Conduit, and that's because they make the actual frames. There's a good picture here. Here you go. They make frames out of conduit and maker pipe to support the lighting systems or the light, the letters and numbers. And it's super sweet. And it looks like just a simple kind of rectangular shape. I mean, you can kind of see here on this one, looks like they have some sort of, like cinder block or, some kind of just brick there that's holding up the frame, and then they just use probably like sandbags or something to kind of weigh it down at the bottom. It's Oh Hey Creations. Definitely check them out. They're in Louisiana. If you need marquee letters, need some kind of cool sign, they do all kinds of stuff. So definitely check them out. All right, next up is a build from Vic, and this is a turkey roost. You can see here. Let's go towards the end. We can kind of see a finished picture of it here. I mean, you can see it's basically just, started with a big cube, probably used 90-degree connectors in the corners to make that. There's a lot of bracing, 45-degree connectors. And then they have a tarp draped over the top as kind of like protection for the inside. Then they made these shelves that are, kind of tiered and almost look like stairs. They also drilled through the connectors to add an extra, probably self-tapping screw or probably a bolt through maybe all the way. But you can see there's like steps, and I think there's one big one at the bottom, and then one a little bit higher up. And there's also bamboo. It looks like taped onto the conduit. So I guess to give the birds something to kind of grab onto as they're sitting and stuff. It's a cool build, and I mean I could see this being used for other things too. It has that tarp stretched over the top and creates a nice canopy. You could throw some walls on this and have an enclosure, have little outdoor seating area, all kinds of cool stuff. But
That's awesome.
yeah,
Wait, outdoor seating area?
yeah. If you wanted to, you got a roof and you got a wall. Just remove the pipes out of the middle and you just sit inside there.
Oh, I see. It could be that kind of structure.
Right, yeah.
Okay, now I'm following you.
Yeah, the same kind of design, just one big cube or rectangle, and just have the tarp over top. It looks like using just some rope, which is a good technique. Once you have it, fully kind of tight over the top, and you just use some rope or something to kind of pull it tight down on the sides, and just keep it snug. I mean, I doubt any water is going to be able to develop up there. But yeah, really great build, Vic. Thanks so much for posting that. Really great to see. Next build we've got is a Sukkah from Stewart, and this is for a Jewish holiday, Jewish festival, and it's basically just an outdoor kind of seating area where they can kind of eat and celebrate the holiday and things. So this is great. We've seen a few of these over the years, and it's a really great technique for doing an outdoor kind of patio. And you can see here they've got the seating inside. I like all the decorations. It looks great. But they've basically just made one long rectangle with one side on the back, and they've probably used 90-degree connectors in the corners. Again, see some bracing with 45s. There's also 180s in the middle here, which is always a good idea. We always recommend that you at least have a vertical every 4 or 5 feet, and a 180 is a good way to do that because you can add that vertical pipe, and then you have the pipes that go between them, going horizontally. So that's great there. And it looks like they have maybe a thatch roof. I think, is that what that material is called?
Yeah.
Thatch. Then they added some walls. It looks like they've got some kind of plastic. We've seen a lot of this. I think it's like fiber reinforced tarp. It's really strong. Well, actually, there's another build we're going to look at soon that uses the same kind of stuff. but it's kind of, draped from the sides down and created, the walls for the enclosure. And I imagine you could just undo that and roll them up if you wanted to. But really great build and looks awesome. And this is a great kind of build to model, even if you're not building it, for the same reason. But if you're building, just a canopy or even, a shade structure here, this is a great technique to do it. So thanks so much, Stuart, for sharing that. Oh, I didn't mention the lights drooped there as well, hanging off. That's really awesome. A lot of decorations. Super awesome. Thanks so much, Stuart, for sharing that. Looks great. All right, next build is from Charles, and this is a duck blind. And let's go to the very end here. We'll see a kind of final shot of it, then we'll break it down a little bit.
Oh,
Looks,
nice.
yeah, it looks really cool from the outside. And I like this one a lot. There's some interesting techniques in here. They've got this boat here, and then I don't know if I can see exactly how it's attached to the boats because that's one of the most common things we always talk about with these is how do you attach the walls and things to the boat. Probably just something simple, conduit hanger straps or two-hole straps or something like that. They've got a frame, basically goes up the sides and then connects in the back. And I like the way that they did the. Oh, there it is. There's conduit hanger straps. Actually, this might actually be the build. Oh, this is the duck blind that we talked about a couple months ago. It was kind of a work in progress at that stage, but I
Oh,
think
great.
now it's finished.
Yeah, this is an update to that.
Pretty sure. Yeah, I think I
Awesome.
remember. I think I remember seeing this exact one, but he didn't have the plastic and things on it. So yeah, really cool. But yeah, the conduit hanger straps are holding the frame on. But here's a really cool thing for the door or kind of the hatch, we'll call it. We talk about that a lot. Usually we see them kind of angled on the top and they swing open and you can stand up.
Hmm.
But this one is a bit different. It's kind of built into the walls here on the sides, and they used. I think we get a picture of it here. Yep, there's the PVC hinges that we've talked about a few times on the channel. Um, those work great. They're made for PVC, but they're aluminum, and they have pre-drilled holes in them that you can attach them to conduit.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we've seen them with doors, specifically in garden enclosures and that sort of thing, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's some there. Looks like there's 4 per door, maybe. And I think there's a video of it in action. You can see, and it just hinges really well. I like those PVC hinges. I've used them a couple of times, mostly in just in demonstrations, and then on one build, they work pretty well.
Right.
And
They're aluminum.
hmm
They're extruded aluminum with like a piano style hinge, right?
hmm
Yeah.
right,
Made
exactly.
for PVC.
Yeah, made for PVC, and the fitment isn't perfect. There's like a little bit of slop in there, but when you use the self tapping screw, you kind of alleviate that. And they're aluminum, so they're really easy. I usually just like take and squeeze it and just kind of bend it around the conduit just a little bit more, and then you add those self tapping screws, and works great. So that's how we did the kind of flip open hatches. Oh, I think here's another one. Yeah, you can see it hinges pretty well, really smooth. And then on top of the frame, he's got all the plastic that we see, and I see a lot of. We've seen several duck blinds in the past that use this material. I don't know exactly what this material is, but it looks like some kind of like rubberized mat or something. Then he's got this like camo tarp over top of that, and then Dave's favorite, cattle panels. Dave likes cattle panels a lot. They're
I th-
great material.
I think, anything that's big and affordable, I think I like.
Yeah.
So, so just these cattle panels are these welded wires that are enormous, but they really don't cost that much.
Right.
I think that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. And he secured those to the frame in a really interesting way. He looks like he's got those kind of sitting against the frame, and then he's using a washer with a either I don't know if that's probably just a bolt, not a self tapping screw, but I imagine the conduit is right behind here, and so basically he's just using that washer as kind of a clamp down on the cattle panels
Okay.
to secure that to the frame,
Nice.
which is an interesting technique. Looks like it's working great.
And then it keeps that tarp in place. It's kind of
hmm
like the technique where they do roofing, right? They've got those nails
Yeah.
with the big plastic washers, right? So if you're putting down um, the tar paper or something like that, you can nail it down and it won't tear.
Right. Yeah. For sure. Great technique and really cool duck blind. So thanks so much, Charles. Really great to see that update. Really cool duck blind. Good luck this season.
Thanks, Charles.
Next up is a build from Randy, And this is actually a rebuild. This is third year in a row. Randy has built the Pacific Northwest Canopy.
Nice.
We've talked about this build a lot. We have an interview on the channel with Randy. He's been a great member of the community. And during the summer, he takes down this canopy. And then, as it gets cooler, and he lives in the Pacific Northwest. And so as you get into that fall and winter season, the rain just becomes, you know, there's a ton of rain. So he rebuilds this every year once that rain starts. And he basically just reuses the parts, kind of like we mentioned with the Sukkah. You can take it apart and then reuse it. So he's basically done that, and it's just a really great canopy. And we got a kind of different view of it this year.
Yeah, the deck is looking better than ever.
Yeah, and you can see he's got a pizza oven.
He still has his pizza oven back there. Yeah.
Yeah. He mentions in the intro that he uses it for the outdoors to stay dry while enjoying the outdoors and making pizza. Yeah, we talked about some pizza in the interview with them, and if you haven't seen the other one, the way he attached it to the side of the house was really interesting. He basically created, so he got these boat bimini connectors and secured those to the wall on the outside, and then he flattened a piece of conduit that basically goes through another short stub of conduit, and that basically allows him to secure it and kind of add some extra pull-out strength in the connector. But then that also the other hole on this side, the pin in the Bimini connector goes through that. So just add some extra strength, and that's kind of the attachment method that he had for securing it to the deck up high and create that pitch roof. And then down here, he's got the verticals in the front, and those are secured. We can see at the very end. Those are secured underneath to the deck railing, probably with 2 hole straps or something like that. So yeah, just a great canopy. A lot of great techniques incorporated into it. And then you can see, he's got the kind of roof supports every few feet, and with a tarp on top, it looks great and keeps the rain off. Pulled tight. He's using ball bungees to secure the material. And this is that reinforced tarp as well.
Nice. Super clever way. Randy's come up with so many awesome hacks. Really great to see it, Randy. Thanks for posting an update.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that must be like V3,
Yeah,
V4,
yeah. He said year 3.
year 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so really cool. Always cool to see the update, and it's a great canopy to pull some inspiration from. Next up is a build from Dan, and he recently shared this through email. This is really cool. This is one of those side by side kind of
Wow.
utility
Look at
vehicles,
that.
and he built a basket holder out of maker pipe. But what's really sweet about this is, he's got this kind of bull bar, bumper, I guess, it's built into it. That's where the winch is, and he had the brackets welded to it, and then he's got conduit attached to those brackets and go up. So if you imagine you take these 2 pipes away, you basically just have this, bumper, which is a separate thing, and then you have this other pipe. I'm not entirely sure what it's used for, but basically just to utilize this as a basket holder, or a basket rack, he just added conduit to it, and looks like the connectors fit perfectly around this top bar, and then he added this other one that's kind of bent down, and that created this holder for this basket here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, really cool.
That's creative.
Mm-hmm. Looks awesome. I'd love to know more about those brackets. I mean, you can see it's welded to the bumper, so I don't know if those just come pre-installed and they just kind of give you the option to do whatever you want with them. Maybe there's an off-the-shelf version of, a rack or something that you can attach, or maybe even,
I can't
a
quite
brush guard.
see, how does the conduit attach to these brackets that you're talking about?
You can't really see. I don't have a close-up of it, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine the way it looks, that flat tab, looks like there's free space underneath the flat tab.
Uh-huh.
So maybe it's a threaded pipe insert, and there's a bolt going through the bottom of the tab there, through the tab and into the threaded pipe insert and secured.
Okay.
I don't know. That's just a guess. I think that would work pretty well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen a lot of side by sides with the rear rack. People do an elevator rack on the back of side by sides, or one of the pickup truck ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But first, front rack. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Who did this?
This was by Dan.
Nice. Nice job, Dan.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for sharing this with us. Really cool to see. Next up is another Dan, and this is a removable duck blind. And this is actually a YouTube video that you can check out and kind of learn how they did it. But this is for a specific boat. This is a Carolina skiff, and they made a removable duck blind. And I think Dan has actually done a duck blind in the past, another video that was more of a long-term solution that stayed attached. But this one is an actual removable one. Let's see if I can get some shots of the frame here. I like to use PVC.
These are pretty
Slid.
popular too. Maybe just because we're in the Carolinas, so I've heard of these, but
Yeah,
I think a Carolina skiff is popular.
yeah, for sure. That's a really interesting thing there. But you can see he's created these panels basically using conduit, and the brush and material, the fake grass is attached to the frames, and then he just brings those over and slides them in to. Um, it looks like there's some kind of a flange on the boat. See
Can you
if-
make it bigger?
Yeah, let's see if we can't. See if we can't see here.
Awesome. That helps. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna turn on sound here for a second. See if we can hear what he says about the PVC. I'm interested.
Using half-inch PVC T connections.
Thanks for the link.
That's going to act as the hinge for my upper panel, and that's what's going to
Oh,
allow that panel to fold. And you can design this to fold either inward
That looks like it
or
fits pretty
outward.
good.
yeah, it does. So okay, so we've talked about a couple times. You need that thing that the hatch that opens and closes.
Right.
He's achieving that by using those PVC hinges over top of the conduit. And
3/4 or half? It kind of looks like half inch.
I think you said half inch. Let's see. Go back just for a second.
Right onto that half-inch.
Oh, that's
EMT.
half inch EMT.
There
This
you go.
stuff connected with those with those maker pipe connections is very solid. So here's
Nice.
the deal. I'm just using half-inch PVC T connections.
Okay. So it's half inch EMT conduit, and then it's half inch PVC over top of it.
Nice. Good to know.
That's going to
And
act
it
as
looks
the
like it fits really well. I didn't see a lot of movement in there.
Right.
As far as like the slop in the actual connection, but it looks like the hinge works
hinge
great.
for my upper panel.
Right, because the way those tees are made, it kind of steps down. If you just had half-inch PVC on there, it'd be loose. That's a loose fit, but because it kind of steps down in the middle on that connection, I think it matches half-inch conduit pretty good.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then it looks like the flanges here, looks like there's just some boat flanges maybe already installed, and he's basically used PVC as kind of a flange, I guess you'd call it, to support the conduit. So whenever he brings that over, we saw that here.
At this point,
Whenever he walks up and puts those in, he sets them down in there, and that's how the panels are secured. So then he's basically just created a few different versions or a few different of those panels, and all he has to do is just walk around and pop those into those different flanges that he's made, and then he's got the hatch that opens and closes with the PVC. So that's really cool.
Wow.
Great job, Dan. Next up is a build from Peter, and this is a really cool swing. Have you ever seen these swings before?
Yes.
It's like a ginormous swing.
Yeah.
And like this whole center section with the two seats and this platform goes back and forth, and it's a really cool thing. And what they've done is create a roof for it
I've
using
got
maker
good
pipe.
memories with yeah. There was an ice cream place near our near our house growing up, and they had these swings. So a lot of good summer evenings getting ice cream on one of these things.
Yeah, I guess you would swing by, get some ice cream.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. And they have a swing just like that, and they've created a roof for it, and it's really cool. I guess they're gonna put some material on top and basically just add some shade to it. Always a good idea. It's just a really great roof structure that they've created here, and I can see why this would be needed. You're out there just getting blasted by the sun, and especially swinging back and forth. So having a canopy is a nice touch and a nice addition. And the way they mounted this was really cool. You can see here they've got adjustable angles, attached at an angle, but the actual pipe between the adjustable angles is straight up and down. but they've flattened the conduit in the middle, as you can see there. So they've got normal conduit coming out of it, going down, flattened in the middle with a hole drilled through, and then normal conduit going all the way down. And that allowed them to basically have this bracket coming off of the side of the swing that the bolt can go through that hole that they've created there and into the mount that they have on the swing, which is really cool. I don't know if you've ever seen anything like that before.
Okay. I was just doing some quick research because I want to make sure that Peter gets some credit for this. Go to swingscapes.com. A glider swing is what these are called.
Oh, nice.
And so he manufactures, and I remember our conversation, he manufactures the glider swings and needed an option to allow people to have that canopy. So this is something that you can, if you like that swing, you can actually go and buy that swing and the canopy from Peter at swingscapes.com.
Nice. Here's a picture on their website. It looks like, I don't know if that's one created out of a maker pipe or something else, but there's one with like the canopy attached to it, and it looks really nice.
Right.
Next to or in the courtyard of a convention center, which is really cool.
I think he might have been using like a different solution for
Mhm.
some of these canopies, and this is kind of continuous improvement to look for a kit made out of maker pipe, which
Nice.
we always love. I'm happy to have people use maker pipe in their products.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's an exciting thing for sure, and we work with companies as much as we can to help support them, being small business ourselves.
Definitely check out Swingscapes if you're interested in getting those, or if you just want to check them out because they're pretty cool. And this roof structure is great, and I like to see the bins. In the corners. Looks like this. It might even be one long continuous piece. It's been actually no, I see a coupling in there. I think, but it looks like it goes down. They have a bent pitched roof, and something really cool here too is the roof is bent here at the peak, and the T connector is attached to it just to add that main kind of rib at the very top, which is
In the bend.
in the bend. Yeah.
And that is a question we get from time to time is like, will a connector grab onto part of a bend?
hmm
And here's a good example of, yeah, it grabs on just fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be a good video too to maybe mention that and try it on different bins.
Yeah.
Like what's the limit for it to stop? But thanks again, Peter, for sending this in. Looks like a great roof. A lot of connectors, a lot of cool things showcased in it, and yeah, looks really awesome. But that's all the builds I have for you this week, and I guess we have for you. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. It's always fun to do these episodes and see what cool things that you all are doing with Conduit and Maker Pipe. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, everyone.